Okay, so all of y'all that know me know that I love to teach and I want to show you all how to fish, teach you how to fish so you can do it for yourselves. And Sheena has given me permission to do this. Look, there's the proof. She says it's okay. And she has this great image that's super easy to convert. And so I'm going to make a video tutorial here about how to fix this image and get it ready. You know, right now it's a JPG. She sent me a couple of options here. This one that just has this all black, she's probably already worked really hard on this and converted it to all black, but unfortunately it's like all black. There's no actual image there anymore. So this one has black and white, and we can absolutely work with something like this all day long. And in fact, we can even make it any color we want to. And I'm about to show you all how to do that. So I'm going to start out by cleaning out my downloads folder. So throughout life and throughout all the things that we do, we get a lot of stuff in our downloads folder. So I'm just going to clean mine out. And I'm literally just hitting Control A and delete, because you should keep your downloads folder clean. You should upload the things that are in there to the internet or, store them. And, I keep a clients folder where I keep all my client files, like for Crystal DTF or whatever client I'm working for. And this is now my downloads folder. It is totally empty. I'm on a Windows computer and I have a clean downloads folder. I'm working on a Windows computer. I'm going to download this image that Sheena has sent me, and I'm going to see that show up in my downloads folder. Now, this image, let's talk about it. It's 2048 by 1067. This is a high quality image. Like, this is ready. It's 2048. I mean, anything under 1,000 pixels is hard, but we can still do that. We can still fix things that are under 1,000 pixels. Don't despair. But, this is a good size to either trace or upscale a little bit. And I'm going to upscale it. So this is upscale. Now, upscale is a program, and you download that from upscale.org. It works on Windows, Mac, and Linux. For Windows, it's free, and for Linux, it's free. I don't think many of you have Linux. Mac, they charge, it's something like $12.99, only for Mac. But for Windows, it's free. So I've just downloaded that program, Upscale, and I'm just going to wait for it to finish downloading. I'm using Chrome here, and once it's downloaded, I can install it. But I already have it installed, so I don't need to do that. So once you run the program, you just select the image. Now, if I was upscaling this to continue work in Photoshop or Photopea, I would definitely go to 6,000. But I'm going to trace this. This is an all black, just on white image. So I'm going to trace it. So I'm only going to upscale it a little bit. I'm just going to upscale it to 4096. I would actually be happy upscaling this to about 3,000 pixels or 3,600. It's almost big enough as it sits. But I'm just going up a little bit because I get a little more detail when I trace it. Like I said, it's already such a clean, perfect image. It's super easy to work with. Now I'm switching over into another program. It's called Inkscape. So Inkscape is what we're going to finish this in. And, if you need Inkscape, it's totally free. I like to recommend free programs. The only program that's not free that I recommend is Photoshop. And you just go to inkscape.org and you hit download and current stable version. It's going to take you to the Windows installer package. You're going to download that. It says it started. We see that download coming. That's going to be in my downloads folder as well. So there's Inkscape, and I can install it if I don't have it. But this is my Inkscape. And if you don't see this checkered background, you can go to File, Document, Properties, and you can just check the checkerboard. Because I like the checkerboard. It shows you what's transparent and what's not. Okay, so now that we have Inkscape downloaded, I am just going to go into my downloads folder and pull over the upscaled version. So when you upscale an image, And I wasn't good here. I should have named this. It's always good to name something, you know. I'm going to say, yeah, upscale. So I know which that one is. So that's the good one right here. And I can tell that it's good because it says, you know, I have the details panel. So when you click on an image or any file and you open the details in Windows, you see 4096. That's the one that's 4,000 pixels. So that's great. And I only have it big like that so that I can trace it better. So now I've just dropped it into Inkscape, okay? So I'm going to go to Trace Bitmap. If you don't have that open, you go to Path, Trace Bitmap, and see it's just opened that same thing. I'm done with this document properties. I was just showing you the checkerboard there. And I'm just going to keep all these settings the same because I've got a black against white. It's perfect. I'm going to hit Apply. And what that's done is it's taken that image. See, there's the image, and I can turn it on and off with that little eyeball, and it's traced it into a path. So I'm just going to select the image and hit the delete key on my keyboard, and now that's the path is left. Now to fit the stage, which is that part in the background, that little box, to fit it to this path, I'm going to hit Control Shift R. So hold Control, hold Shift, and hold R, and hit R. And again, document properties, you can actually choose, is it under here? Oh, resize to content. It's that button right there. Okay, so now I have a clean version of this, and it's converted to an SVG, so it's infinitely scalable. There is no point where I'm going to get down in here and these curves are not going to be clean. This is a perfect, at any size, SVG, okay? And the other thing that's cool about SVG is you can enter edit mode, and you can move these nodes around and just do whatever you want. So I hit Control Z there. So I just, I'm going to exit edit mode by clicking my selector tool again and kind of get back into what's called object mode. Okay, so now we need to export. So I already have that queued up, export right here. And I can do object, nope, hold on, file, export. That's what opens that little export panel up. And so, you know, one last thing I want to show you while we're here is if I wanted to change the color of this to white, I could just do object, fill, and stroke. That's the stroke panel here. And so this is fill, this is stroke, I'm on fill. I could change this to white right now and get white out of it, but I've not been instructed to do that, so I'm just going to make it black, and I'm going to go back to my little export panel, and I can choose whatever size I want this at. The biggest PNG size that I'm going to use usually is about 4,500 pixels wide. That's 15 inches wide. That's bigger than most people's heat presses. So I'll just change that number and I'll just let the height do whatever it was. DPI just doesn't matter. DPI is just a thing. The pixels are all that really matters. So I just click this little folder icon. I'm going to go home and then I'm going to go back to my downloads. I'm going to name this. So this is simply Hawkins. And I'm going to put SVG. It's svg.svg, which is a little redundant, but it just helps people that don't know what files are and what their file extensions are. So simply Hawkins SVG. And then I'm also going to export it as a PNG. So I'm going to change this to PNG. And I'm going to export it again, but of course I'm going to take off that SVG and just change it to PNG. So now, Sheena, you have got a 4,500 pixel wide, 15 inches wide, and that's probably about 6.5 inches tall. PNG that's not going to give you any DPI problems. Okay, hey, I hope that helps. Thanks for watching my tutorials, and thanks for ordering your transfers from crystaldtf.com. Take care.